Go.
And we are live. This is lucky number 13, episode number 13. The Bourbon Brothers, Justin Hall, Supplement Snoop, my partner in crime, as always, Robert Chinetsky, the supplement engineer. It is a beautiful day, brother. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. It's we got our first so yesterday I think was the first official day of fall on the calendar. I woke up this morning. There was a nice brisk breeze blowing through. So usually, I'll wake up. I have my alarm set for 5:45 just so Sandy can get in her training session before she gets ready to go to work every day. So I'm usually up. I'll either work or I'll just go through a walk around the neighborhood. And it was I said my brain was not in a writing mindset. So I got out and I just went walking. Man, it's like there was a little nip in the air. It was 68 degrees walking around and everything. It was awesome. So the weather is fantastic today, considering on Monday it was 99 degrees, which is like the hottest day on record in September in Texas or something like that. So to have that little cool front come through, it was awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing here. I thought like maybe I woke up today and like something was wrong with me because it has been, it's South Carolina. It's hot. It's been hot, like especially for someone like me from Erie, Pennsylvania. It's always hot here compared to there. But I got up this morning, and we got up early this morning. The sun wasn't up; it was still dark, and I'm like, damn, I put sweatpants on, and I was like, God, am I sick or something? And then I realized I was like, no, because it rained yesterday, and then with the rain came all this like cold air. And just it's one of those times where it's like you get like this cold rain and you can like feel it, that everything's just heavier and stuff that. And I can feel the cold air, which is like you said, it's actually a nice change. So yeah, I thought something was wrong with me when I woke up this morning, but it's just cold.
Do you have a favorite season? Like, do you like fall, winter, spring, summer, or any season in between?
That's an interesting question because for the longest time, I always it was like my season sort of revolved around like activities or like I always liked spring because in where I grew up was snow just all the time. So when spring would hit, everybody get really excited. Baseball season would usually like be started and, like sports were getting into it. So I always but spring where I grew up lasted like 2 days. Because the weather would break, you would get like a couple nice like 70, which is funny because today it's like 70 degrees here and I'm talking about it being cold. Yeah. So this was like absolutely ideal weather. But then it would turn right into summer and it'd be like, 300% humidity and it would be horrible. So spring was always like my favorite, but it would only last for like maybe a couple of weeks if you were lucky. So I always liked spring though, but it was always because winter was so bad that so now I think living in the climate I'm in now, I think fall might actually be cool because it cools off a little bit.
You can see the leaves change and all of that good stuff. You actually get different seasons in South Carolina. It's not like freezing for the entire year or just like swamp ass hot as balls like it is in like the deep south for 90% of the year.
Yeah, and then this year wasn't that bad. Like, because I remember visiting here last summer a couple times, and it was just the humidity was suffocating. It wasn't that bad this year. So
yeah, it can get really gross, especially during like the summer months, like July and August. Humidity can be rough, and especially y'all right there on the coast too.
So where we're at is like we're like 4 or so hours away from like the beach. Like we're at is like so it's close but like just far enough also where it's like it's an interesting area for sure. I'm getting used to it.
Good deal. Any new bourbon hauls over the past week? Actually, which reminds me, your package should either be arriving today or tomorrow.
What? This is beautiful. I tell you what, if it would show up today, that would be incredible because a friend of mine in our group chat just said, he's like, hey, everyone, it's Weller Wednesday.
Hey, there we go.
And my other buddy was like, go fuck yourself because he doesn't have enough to drink it. Like he's hanging on to like just a little bit. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, I don't have any at all. So if
it's coming
today, he came today, and he listens to the podcast, so he's just he's a beautiful man with that Weller. So it warms my heart that you were able to get some for me. That's
man. I went on an excursion last week just because I knew we got off the podcast and I thought, all right, I got to go look because I know I'm not hallucinating. I know that I've seen Weller in the stores here before, and just listening to some of the other whiskey review channels on YouTube, they say Texas has a pretty steady supply of Weller. Like it's easier to find here than in some other locations. So I go to the first store, and right on the shelf, it has a little tag. It says Weller Special Reserve. They didn't have any of the other Weller stuff, but I mean, those are hundreds of dollars per bottle, even at retail, like the 12-year and the 107 and all of that.
Oh, yeah.
Walk right in. Yeah, the antique 107. There was like 6 bottles on the shelf, and it said limit 1. So I thought,
It's Texas, though.
I take 2, go to checkout. If they tell me, sir, you're only limited to 1, I have no issue with that. That's fine. I'll just walk out the store, walk back in, buy it, and do all that again. So, but I walked up to the counter, put both of them on the counter. It was there at retail, so it's only $25 a bottle, which is
amazing.
Great. I mean, 90 proof weeded bourbon. It says the original weeded bourbon on there. Whether it actually is the original weeded bourbon or not, I don't know, because you dig in like the backstory of all these bourbon brands. It's kind of like supplement brands in that sense. It's like there's this grand story always behind it, and how much of it is actually truthful and how much of it is more like the marketing slant. But
yes, there is a lot of parallels. I think we were kind of talking about that last week. The parallels between the bourbon world and the supplement world, that we kind of notice them, right? Just because also we have. We're deep into it. You can kind of notice those parallels a little bit, dude. Weller for $25, like that is. You tried it.
Well, yeah. So I got 2 bottles at that store. I went to another store just to see if a different Total Wine had it. They had a full stock and no sign of limit. Buy one get one, or like limit 1, 2 bottles. So I grabbed another 2 bottles there. I wondered, but neither of them had the handle. So the 1.75 liter jugs. I thought, I know I've seen the jugs somewhere. So then I did across the street to the other big box liquor store here, Specs, and they had 4 handles of Weller on the shelf. So the handle was only $40. I mean, that's as cheap as larceny.
Crazy.
That's as cheap as larceny, man. And I just said, all right. So I bought the handle for me. You've got 4 bottles of Weller headed your way. Plus there's some special little sketchy red capsules in one of the bags. That's in the thing. And the box.
Drugs and alcohol.
Yeah, so that nootropic we've been kind of talking about, or Brooke has mentioned a few times on here, those are some of the samples. So they come in each 2 little baggy things. So 2 caps is 1 serving of the nootropic. So you get to try that out.
So some uppers and some downers.
Yeah, exactly. And be careful. The packaging it's not precarious, but there's a lot of stuff to make sure the bottles didn't break, and it's coming in a 1-Up nutrition box. It's so if you see a 1-Up box on your doorstep, it's not actually from 1-Up. It's going to be that's your bourbon.
It's we've grown up so much from stealing liquor and whatever, and now we just ship it to each other. So
yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. I appreciate you.
Yeah, Jojo, what's going on, man? Sending out. I'm finally going to get to try Eagle Rare.
I know. I talked to him. Well, I missed it. So one thing, Jojo, that if you'll notice about me, my phone's always on silent, always on Do Not Disturb. So Brady he's been answering questions on my question sticker. Okay, like on Sundays, we do like a business style Q&A. So Brady logs into my account and answers questions. And he's like, dude, how the fuck do you do this? He's like, I get like blood pressure spikes. He's like, your notifications go off so much. And I'm like, dude, that's why my phone is literally always on Do Not Disturb. Always. Jojo hit me up the other day, but I was on Do Not Disturb. So I didn't see it, but he told me what was going on. And I was like, damn. Because I drank quite a bit of Eagle Rare last night. It's just so good. So good.
I'm super excited to try it, and especially like compare that to the other 10-year I've got here, the Russell's Reserve 10-year. I'm curious to try both of them just to kind of do like a head to head kind of thing and see what it tastes like.
It's like that's like Alabama, Miami all over again. Don't get me wrong, I like Russell's Reserve very much.
Yeah.
Eagle Rare.
It's another level.
I don't want to like push you towards bias, but Eagle Rare 10-year blows that away. Like it's not even a fair fight.
When I first so you were telling me how good Weller was, and I sent you the text as soon as I tried it last week. I said, "Oh shit, this is actually really worth it. This is really good stuff."
Mm-hmm. I think really Eagle Rare. The problem is I think JoJo ran into this. He said I think he found a bottle of Eagle Rare and it was like $100, and I'm like, it's awesome, but $100, that's just like
same thing I told him.
It's like that's on principle, like that. Fuck you guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I said the max. Like, I think you can find it if you can find it retail at a place that's not going to rip you off. Probably in like the $35 to $50 range. So I said if you see it above 50, I don't even know if it's worth going above 50.
Yeah, we had this conversation the other day. I think we just had this in passing, and I was like, "What would you pay?" I was like, "If I went to a store, I said, what would happen is if I saw Eagle Rare there, I would just grab it and buy it, and I wouldn't even look at the price."
Right.
And if it was like over $75, I would be like, but I wouldn't put it back. But if you can get it, anywhere under $50, that is a steal for that bourbon, I think. So
exactly.
Like I said, I got 3 bottles of it, and I think I have like half gone out of the one because it's just it's like right there with one of my favorite bourbons, hands down. It's just so good.
I'm very, very excited to try it. So whenever
I'm excited that you got to try Weller, and now you're going to get to try Eagle Rare just within a short amount of time. I just that excites me.
All right, now there is a caveat. Since I sent you the Weller and it's not there, if you go and sell it on the secondary market for like $4,000, I need like a 5% cut of the profits from the sale.
I could do that. I know some people that would. It's crazy, man. I think the same site that I got the Buffalo Trace and Eagle Rare for a decent price. I think the same place had Weller, the special reserve. It was at least $80 a bottle. And I've seen it for even like more than that. And I'm like, no, man. Like the antique is like 180. And I think like even the antique, a friend of mine was getting it for like $45 or something like that. Or it's just like, people are sick, man. I'm just not doing that. I'm not. I have a limit to what I'm gonna do. But so sometimes I just don't even look. Like I got a bottle of that Hibiki, a Japanese whiskey. And I saw it here, and I had never seen it before on the shelf. And I got super excited. I was like, well, whatever it is, I said, I'm just going to buy it. And then I rang it up, and it was like $120. And I was like, okay, if I'd have known that, I probably wouldn't have bought it. But I was like, I'm not going to put it back. But I was like, $120. Fuck. It's a lot, man.
It is. And I pulled up some price, so. Here, let me do a screen share and then we can discuss which one. And JoJo said every other store I talked to is selling it for over 100 and or raffle it off when they got it. Yeah, you got to be watching. Like that's when it helps to like kind of know what the MSRP on these bourbons is and to know if you're really getting raked over the coals on it or not.
Over 100. As much as I love Eagle Rare, it's just too much.
Yeah, exactly. Or like I think I mentioned this before. There's this little liquor store, and I would love to go support the little guys. If you're paying a good price for it, you're competitive. Even if you're like maybe $5 more, they're charging $75 for a handle of Knob Creek, and like the big box stores are $50 to $55. That's a huge markup.
Yeah, there was a local place in Delaware that had a great selection when I was living there, and I was getting Blanton's there. I could get it pretty regularly until the end. And it was like $90 a bottle, that's very on the high side. But I was like, okay, I can almost justify it because it's the guys there were awesome. Like anytime I would go in there, they would let me sample like all kinds of random shit. And you kind of justify the paying up that much. But you see it online and stuff like that for like $160, $180. I'm like, guys, if you're over $200, I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
Not a chance. Not a chance. This is the Hibiki you tried?
Yes.
Yeah. I like the bottle.
It's actually really good. It's only like 80 proof, but it's the one reason why I got it too is it's so much different. It's very like peat tasting.
Mm-hmm.
It's very I had it for the first time here at a bar at the hotel when I was visiting here a lot last summer.
Mm-hmm.
And I drank it and I was like, it's super unique. So that's why I didn't necessarily, mind paying up for something that's unlike anything else I have. You know what I mean? It's a little bit different. It's like when you're paying for, something, maybe it's like marginally different or it's essentially the same as other things. And it's like, well, okay, now I'm just, that's overkill a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
It's good stuff though.
I'd be interested to try it. I've yet to try, like I've tried Irish whiskeys and Scotch whiskeys. I have not tried any Japanese whiskeys as of yet.
Yeah, it's good. Like I said, it's really different. It's almost hard to explain.
Interesting. I'm gonna have to go and try that one. And then the other good pickup that I've been hunting for during the Weller, I found the last bottle of 1792 bottled in bond that the store had. So after I picked up the handle of the Weller, they had one bottle. Like there's always the small batch of 1792, which is good, but I like the full proof a lot, and their single barrels are really good. I have yet to find the bottled in bond, but I heard that it's it's a good 100 proof whiskey. I like 100 proof bourbons. It's like in the $35, I think, is what I paid for it, and it was but it's never around here.
Yeah,
it's never around here.
That's a phenomenal price. It's really good, especially for that price. That's awesome.
Delicious, and I love the bottle of that one too, like the little curvy kind of looking thing and everything. So I've got the only 1792 I don't have here is the sweet wheat one, which is I'm never going to find that one probably.
That's the only one. That's the only one I do have.
Yeah, or the regular standard small batch. But I've got a single barrel, I've got a full proof, and I've got the bottled in bond here.
But sweet wheat, same kind of thing. Like I have a little bit left, and I'm probably not going to drink it because it's $180 freaking dollars. You know what I mean? So it's like we tried it, we had some, and now I can't drink anymore because I can't replace it.
Let me see what it's going for. Just on some of these other these secondary sites.
So I bought it online, and it ended up being a decent price for it because a friend of mine got it at a store. I think he paid like the same price because I think mine was $180 after shipping because it was like $150 I think, and then I had to pay like $30 to ship it. So I think I ended up spending like $180 like out the door.
Yeah, these two are $200, and that's a secondary site.
Yeah,
I guarantee that's not including shipping either.
Right. It was the reason why I found it too was a friend of mine who he's a hunter, for all this stuff. He sent me the link. He was like, "Hey, if you were something like because he knew that bottle was like at the top of my list. He's like, this is a killer price for this bottle. So I just bought it. I was like, screw it.
Interesting. 10 years or less. Does it say it's non-age stated on the front? 91.2 proof.
Listen, and you know what, man? Like it is some fucking good stuff.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Check available. Yeah. Just why do you think I'm clicking here?
Just hit it a whole bunch of times faster. You'll have 7,000 windows open in about 5 minutes.
SOL, apparently.
Right.
Interesting. Okay. Well, there we go. Yeah, initially, like when you and I first started talking about bourbons last year, the year before that, and you first introduced me to Larceny, I found out it was a wheated bourbon. I was very skeptical about it, just because the only wheated bourbon I tried up until that point was Makers. And like regular Makers, I'm not a huge fan of. I don't like it at all. Like the cask strength is good. I haven't tried the Makers 46, although I've heard that is good. And so I thought I wouldn't like wheated bourbons at all. But you try Weller, Larceny. What's the other wheated bourbon? I've got 2 other wheated bourbons here. The Redemption wheated is good.
Yeah, to me, like Maker's Mark.
There we go. Rebel Yell 100.
Maker's Mark is kind of like C4 to me, and people go, oh, well, the cast strength. And I was like, you know what? I said, that's like C4 Dynasty or something to me where I'm like, it probably would be cool, but I'm not going to use it because I just don't want anything from you guys.
Yeah, man, that's a good point.
A C4 energy drink. So my hypocrisy knows no bounds.
I think I've got some of those. So did Cellucor send those to you, or did you procure one of those from the store or have somebody send it? Because I had somebody from Cellucor email me. Devin, I guess, sent them my contact information because I had a random email from the guys at Cellucor in my inbox on Sunday.
So I did too. And did you go through the whole process? Did you ask for some?
Yes, I filled out the name, and you saw the bottom part where it says you have to.
Yeah. Okay, so I was going to tell you the story anyway because I emailed them back instead of filling it out. I was like, look, I was like, I appreciate you guys. I was like, but there is no way I'm doing that.
Yeah.
And did you get the guy? He was really cool. He was like, because I told him, I was like, look, if I review something, it's gonna be on my platform.
Right. Yeah.
I was like, I'm not trying to be a prick. I was like, but why would I do that there? And he was super cool about it. He's like, oh, dude, I totally get it. He's like, it's just sort of like a standard thing. And he's like, I respect that. And I was like, okay. So, but these things were available at TNS. So the last time we were down there, Kristen grabbed, it was a cherry one, orange, and lemon. The cherry one is damn good.
Yeah.
So
I'm very curious to try it. It's there we go. Yeah, I've tried the Starburst flavored energy drinks. I think they taste amazing. That's what we're exactly talking about, Jojo.
That's what I'm drinking right now.
Yeah, I'm curious to try it. So maybe this time I'll get a nice fancy little gourmet box with the packages in, and so maybe the random shipment from Cellucor will come in instead of the the stepped on half rolled over box I got from Aaron at Performance.
Poor Aaron. Well,
him and I were on the phone for like an hour yesterday. We're all good.
That's funny though, that because when I got that email, I started laughing.
Yeah.
And of course, I thought of you, and I was like, I can't wait to tell Robert this story. So I'm glad that you actually saw it too, because I'm reading. I start to fill out the form, and I get all the way to the bottom, and I was like, nope.
Nope. Now, like the top site, like the first, sure, I'm doing that. I'm going to do a review. Like I'm going to do a tasting panel with Sandy on like our Thursday lives, and I'll cut out the clip and upload a separate video and do all that. That last, advertising platform that's mentioned. Fuck. I don't even know if that's still active. That segment of it, I don't even think it's still active. But
I wouldn't know it. I've never. Well,
yeah. So.
Anyway, I had a good laugh about that. Actually, I like it better that you already went through it and I didn't. So good.
Yes, I saw that. I thought, what do I do with this? What do I do with this? But anyway.
Yeah, I just replied. I was like, hey, but no. Nope.
Yeah. So we'll see. Yeah, but I'm curious. Hopefully they show up soon. I mean, Cellucor Nutribulls headquarters is right down in downtown Austin, so maybe it'll expedited shipping or something. It'll get here quicker.
Yeah, they're good. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I think they were, because they were kind of the trendsetter a little bit in that space. I don't know, maybe not even a little bit. Maybe they were. So I think it took them a little bit of time to sort of find their footing, but they had so much capital and so much backing. They just nothing wrong with it. If I want an actual beneficial energy drink, I'm gonna go Ghost or something else that puts other things in there. I wouldn't buy these consistently. So, but if you're going to buy flavored caffeine water, get a really good flavor, I guess. So,
yeah. The caffeine man always gets the cool boxes.
I will say this too: you can notice the beta alanine in this stuff big time.
Yeah,
I take one sip of it, and you can feel it instantly.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What's the? I mean, it's still the same 200 mgs of caffeine per can, isn't it?
200, yeah.
Yeah, because I've tried the original. So they have the Starburst array of flavors, and I've tried the original C4 Energy, the orange slice flavor that came out, which was really good. I like that one a lot. And I tried their Freedom Pop or whatever the Bomb Pop flavor it is. That's in kind of like the red, white, and blue can. I just grabbed it randomly over the summer, and that flavor was really good.
Yeah, because the cans are, I don't want to say they're confusing, but so I grabbed one the other day. I opened it up, and I was like, "Oh, this is the orange one." I took a sip of it, and I was like, "That's not very good. It doesn't really taste like orange." So I just put it back in the fridge.
Yeah.
And I told her about it. I was like, "Yeah," I said the orange one, because the cherry one I was like was awesome. I was like, the orange one, I was like, eh. She's like, that's the lemon one, and I was like, oh, well, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I'm like, now that I retake it, I was like, it does taste just like lemon. I was like, because this doesn't taste like orange. So
need to get you some readers, man. We need to get you some reading glasses, and then you can better differentiate.
Yeah. Justin
Thompson, have you tried the new Alani Nu Witch's Brew flavor?
No, I'm still very resistant on most of these energy drinks. Like, I bought some of the Alani Nu because I love the can so much. That the Galaxy one, whatever that one, the Cosmic one.
Yeah.
But still, I just really don't buy energy drinks just because for me they're just a waste. You know what I mean? I would much rather just get a nootropic. But
that's it. Let me see if I can find the Alani Nu.
This one's got a lot of hype. The can's super cool. Like Alani Nu knows what they're doing. That's for damn sure.
Caramel sour apple flavor.
Yeah, see, I mean that.
The fuck is the can?
If I was an energy drink user, I'd be all over this thing because that sounds good. But
cherry slush. We haven't tried that flavor yet. We have tried the tie-dye one. We tried 6 or 7 of them.
Yeah, I mean they do a good job for sure.
Here we go. Witch's Brew. No, I guess I'll look at that at the store and we can do a review on that. People seem to like it when we do energy drink stuff.
Yeah, it's super new. I know that's what sucks is people always ask me about energy drinks, and I'm just like, I'm not into it.
Yeah, I'm not typically either. Or half the time, like a new flavor comes out, I only hear about it because somebody asks us a question on this or something, or I'll happen to glance on it on Stack 3D. There's too many things coming out constantly to stay on top of it all.
Well, and let me also, say we get nootropics to try all the time. If people are, it's just, I have an endless supply of really good tasting, beneficial nootropic drinks. When it comes to spending my own money, it's kind of like the Ghost RTDs that are coming out now. Like I like Ghost protein, but there's literally no way in hell I would ever spend my money on someone to shake shit up for me.
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like this, and this isn't just about Ghost in particular, but all of the protein RTD. So I think doesn't VPX have one, and Muscle Milk. There's a Labrada one. Who else has one? Shit, what Dymatize has their clear ones. How are these things selling? Is what I'm trying to figure out. It's what is the how often do you need to run into the store, grab a protein shake, and then where you wouldn't have a protein powder or something like that? That's where I'm struggling.
I get it where at gyms and stuff like that where people sell them and people so it's right there. But just for me the convenience is not there. Yeah. For me personally, so I don't. If somebody sends me some shit to try for free, I know people like this stuff, so I'll give my thoughts about it. But it's not something that I'm just gonna go. Like I said, I like Ghost. Well, and also Ghost is a little bit different too because they did the Chips Ahoy one because I think Dan said he sent me some. They should be here sometime this week. But the Chips Ahoy one doesn't have inclusions, right? So they changed the formula. Yeah. They're actually different than the actual protein because you can't do inclusions because they would taste like shit. They would get all soggy and stuff. But they also use milk protein isolate as the lead protein source.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which is good. I like milk protein isolates. So they're a little bit different, but I just don't know, man. I just don't pay for convenience like that. It's not my thing. Yeah. But I realize that the situation I'm in is a little bit different. So it's not like I'm judging people for paying for it's your money and do whatever hell you want with it. It's just not for me.
I mean, the gym thing I understand. I mean, they've got energy drinks there. You sell Gatorades there. Gas stations, I could see if you're on a long road trip and you need something. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, there's times like, I think like energy drink and a road trip kind of go hand in hand, where you like grab some jerky and an energy drink. That's just kind of like what you do, when you're on a road trip. But in most cases, I have like 10 tubs of Ghost Gamer, like all flavors. I would just rather the nootropic powdered formulas are just far superior. Even Ghosts, their Gamer powder is just, it's superior to their energy drink.
Correct. Yeah.
So I'm only in it for what am I getting from it. Like, I'm not going to pay for the convenience. So
yeah,
I think we talked about that.
Parlaying into nootropic drinks. Do they have nootropic RTDs? Any recommendations? If so,
well, I think Ghost supplies.
Yeah, like they have some nootropics built in. Core has some nootropics built into the America Energy.
Smart Energy has cognizant in it, right? Like C4 Smart Energy.
Yeah, there's some that have it. There's a few energy shots on the market that kind of do the same thing. So like Genius has their energy shots. Advanced Molecular Labs has some energy shots that have some nootropics built into it. But again, you're paying like $2 to $3, sometimes $4 for a single serving of this, when you could just buy a tub of Ghost Gamer, or if you want to take caps, there's a bunch of different caps on nootropics. But other like nootropic powders, you got Orange Brainwash from Controlled Labs.
I still like G Crack. And so G Crack from Fat Lab is it's being redone more Amazon phase, but that product is killer, man. I know we've talked about it before. That thing. So if you look at it on Amazon, it's because we just bought like 6 tubs of it, like seriously, because it's going away. So it's a proprietary blend, but Sean, he's in the private Facebook group. He showed the whole formula. There was a whole big thing. Him and his old business partner, who they had a big like falling out. So it was a decision. It was like to make it proprietary, but Sean wanted it fully transparent, right? So actually, right. So you see on here, it is listed. Like the dosages are listed there.
Yeah.
But it's going to be redone, because I think the whole like G Crack and the whole like style of it is not. It's not indicative of what the product is like. I think that almost gives you like a crazy pre-workout sort of vibe, which this is not.
Yeah.
This thing feels awesome. It is hands down one of my favorites, if not my favorite nootropic drink. And the flavor on it is badass. It's like got some carbonation in it, and it's awesome.
Yeah, it's got sodium bicarbonate in it, so yeah, that would definitely.
Yeah, they did a great job on the flavor, and then it's going to be replaced by it's a new direction for the brand. It's going to be called Fame. It's Fat Lab as the brand, so it's going to be called Fame, PHAME, and the formula is going to change just a little bit differently because it's an Amazon. It's going to be like Amazon friendly, like actually like driven towards Amazon, more like overall appeal to it. So there's some things you do when it comes to Amazon, when it comes to formulation, that it's more for the Amazon platform, but the benefits and all that stuff, like the guts of everything, will still like all be there. So we've been testing it out quite a bit. It's killer.
Interesting. I hear this is weird. It says caffeine content, caffeine free.
That's usually like there's things that
there's little snafus.
Well, you see also like Amazon has bots, right? There's a lot of things are analyzed.
Yep.
So there's keywords and things that show up in listings. You ever see like you look on Amazon and like in the in the title, it'll give you like a bunch of keywords and all that stuff. See, people have like these Amazon's fascinating beast, man. We've been doing a lot with it recently, but
ultra generic looking pre-workout tub.
Yeah, sheer strength. They are huge on Amazon.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like every other pre-workout ever.
Yeah. Yikes. Okay. Sheer strength. Yeah, I've
you
never.
See $20. Like that's the point, right? $20 for 25 servings.
Yeah. I mean, it's less than $1 a serve. You're getting a full gram of citrulline and all this other stuff. Revive post-workout.
That's where we're kind of changing the perception. We're doing a lot. Actually, we were just talking to a brand that makes some mega awesome, incredible formulas, and we had a conversation with them about Amazon, and they're like, we don't want to devalue or hurt the integrity of our brand. And I'm like, we have clients that have products on Amazon that are as expensive a formula as you'll ever see.
Yeah.
And we sort of had to change their perception of Amazon. It's like, people want to shop on Amazon. It's nothing against brick and mortar retail. And, obviously we support brick and mortar retail, but at the same time, if your customers are shopping on Amazon, they already want to buy your products. They want to buy other things at the same time. Then you should consider being on there so that they can check out. So it's the way, things are kind of going. So we've been changing the perception of the industry that has always said, the only way you can be successful on Amazon is if you have cheap shit, products. It's not true. So
yeah, I mean, even somebody like Jack Factory that does tons and tons of volume, their formulas are pretty solid overall.
Exactly. They are an Amazon juggernaut.
Yeah. Right? Oh, that reminds me. Cognisurge. Jack Factory Cognisurge. Yeah. Fantastic, very affordable, awesome nootropic.
Well, you can kind of see too the progression of Jack Factory, and also Genius was kind of the same way. Genius is just a fucking juggernaut on Amazon. You start off one way because things were different when those brands got going on Amazon. There was more black hat tactics. There was really weird shit kind of going on. Yeah. It's a different kind of space. People weren't rushing to Amazon for supplements like they are now. So you could kind of see how like Jack Factory has evolved a little bit over time, and now they keep the formula still. Their prices are just dirt cheap, but they do they add some really cool ingredients where it's necessary, and they don't add stuff when it's not really necessary. So that company is awesome, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Not only from
their nootropic.
Yeah, not only from a business standpoint, which they're phenomenal to sort of watch, but they also, they give. So you can do both. You can be a juggernaut business in the space and still give people some good stuff. So
yeah, people are lazy and need the easy road. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, literally everything that we've done, and even what we do. It's like kind of a double-edged sword because everything that we do is to make things easier for people. And then now we're at this point where why doesn't anybody have any creative thinking skills or problem-solving skills? It's because everyone's already thought of the solution for them.
We've streamlined everything too much.
So it's like now we've created a monster, the whole thing.
Justin Thompson, it's the carbonation for me, the crispness. I've been thinking about buying a carbonated water maker and adding nootropic energy powders to it. Yeah, you could definitely do that. There was right after we moved to Michigan, this is when Cellucor C4 came out with their C4 Neuro, or they were messing around with their gaming supplement. This is before the Smart Energy and all this other stuff. So Mitch, the guy that was, I guess, the sales rep that I was in touch with there, sent me one of those little carbonated water things or whatever, where you push the little tab and it fills the water, and sent me the C4 Neuro powder.
Oh, nice.
I made the mistake of putting the powder in the jug while I was doing that, and so I put the powder in, added the carbonated water, shook it up, poof! It shot blue shit all over the apartment in Michigan. So I spent an hour cleaning up all of that stuff. It was rough and quite nasty, but yeah, if you could probably do it that way, Justin, just be judicious, be careful.
Yeah, I think that there's some companies. We had one approach us. They didn't end up doing it yet. Well, they haven't yet, but you're starting to see it a little bit where companies are trying to mimic soda, right? Like Mountain Dew, like you saw Coors had some Mountain Dew type flavors, but it's the carbonation that people have had trouble with this entire time. And that's one reason why I like what G-Crack does, because it's not quite like drinking like a soda or anything like that, but it's got that fizz that if you're going to try to replace a soda or an energy drink with a nootropic powder, you kind of have to push in that direction a little bit, because then, why would people switch? Sometimes that's all it takes. So
yeah, and that harkens back to the origins of No Explode, when they had some sodium bicarb in there, and that gave me the fizzy thing that made everybody's shaker explode.
Yeah, I think probably everybody's done that, where you shake it up and it just blows up all over the kitchen. Yeah.
Philip Shanetsky. Hey, Phil. What's going on, man? Justin, have you ever tried Old Smoke espresso whiskey?
I have not. To be honest, and this is not like a bourbon snob thing, but I'm not really got into. Well, I haven't really gotten into like flavored type whiskeys. Like a lot of people, there's like some peanut butter whiskeys, and there's all this kind of other stuff. I haven't really got too much into flavor type stuff.
Let's see. I think this is what.
I'm a big espresso fan, and I'm a whiskey fan, so it kind of makes sense.
Whoop. Yes, I'm over 21. All right, here we go. Old Smoky.
Interesting.
Tennessee whiskey. Cinnamon, salted caramel. Where's the espresso?
Habanero. Root beer? Wow. Huh. Cold brew, 35 to 60 proof.
This is more of like, I'm assuming like dessert cocktails.
Those are rookie numbers. We got to pump those numbers up.
Yeah, is that? Highly recommended.
I didn't see it. Who's on there?
Highly recommended. Super smooth. Maybe this isn't it. He said Old Smoke, and this is Old Smoky. Let's try.
Good to see you.
What kind of bathtub juice are you drinking down there in Philip?
That's got to be it. With all those crazy flavors.
Yeah. Maybe this smoked espresso old fashioned. Maybe is this it? Huh. I don't know. Interesting.
Gotcha. Yeah, you were on the right one.
Yeah. You think this one or the other one?
No, he said that Old Smoky is the one.
Okay, Old Smoky is it?
Makes sense with all their other flavored stuff.
Yeah. Caramel. It'd be good. I bought some peanut butter flavored whiskey last year to do some like dessert cocktails and stuff like that, which that came out fun. That's where I think most of these probably fit in best. Like you could definitely sip it over the rocks or something if you're going for a lighter dessert kind of vibe, but these kind of shine in like if you're going to do a chocolate espresso martini or something like that, this would be awesome in that, I think.
Yeah, I never had a martini until we were just in Mexico, and we had about 100 of them. No, I'd never had a martini before, and when we were there, we tried every single one I think in the world.
Yeah, there's a couple of places. Well, Commander's Palace, famous restaurant down in New Orleans, they do 25-cent martinis for lunch.
25 cents.
25 cents for the businessman's power lunch.
Wow.
Yeah. And then there was another martini bar when Santa and I lived in Mandeville, which is on the north side of New Orleans. Every Friday during happy hour, $1 martinis. And like it wasn't just the standard martini. Like you could get the lemon drop, you could get the chocolate espresso martini, you could get a raspberry whatever. So when you get those kind of deals on martinis, I'm not a vodka or martini guy by nature. For 25 cents or $1, you bet your ass I'm going to drink those.
Yeah, you can't pass that up.
No.
Candy apple whiskey plus ilani new witch's brew. I like your style, man.
There we go. We do not recommend mixing alcohol and caffeine. But I'm not a doctor. I just pretend to be one on YouTube.
I just pretend to be one on Instagram.
Candy apple. I mean, that could be a good little Halloween kind of concoction.
So, I know it's been almost an hour. What did LSU play last week?
They did. It was 49-21 victory over the Chippewas of Central Michigan.
Oh.
The disturbing statistic, though, is that it was 14-14 after halftime. Man. That's what the score was. So that shows either our secondary really is not good, not secondary, but the backups are really not good, or the coaches are taking it really easy, and so I don't like to see the score that even after halftime.
No. Yeah, I think the only good thing. So, if you saw the score of the Miami-Michigan State game, super misleading. Michigan State scored 2 touchdowns like right at the end of the game, turnovers and some kind of weird shit. It was one of those games where Miami, I'm watching the game and I'm going, how the fuck are we not winning by like 28 points? Miami turnovers, penalties, drop touchdown passes, missed field goals. It was really hard to watch. And, their offense was going up and down the field on Michigan State, pretty much holding Michigan State in check in the first half. But it got to halftime. And Miami should have probably been up like 28-3 or something like that. And it was like tied, or Michigan State might even been winning. And I'm like, there's no way. It was hard. It was really hard to watch. The only good thing about it was it really started the wheels in motion. I think that Manny Diaz is dead man walking when it comes to his job. People were pissed because it was the way that they did it. It's kind of one of those things where it's not so much the score you want to see or like wins and losses. Sometimes it's how it happened because, college football, crazy shit happens all the time, right?
Right.
It was a comedy of errors and lack of preparation, which has been happening nonstop under him the whole entire time. So it was really hard to watch. Like it was just such a disgusting game. And then they still even had a chance to come back, but then, like I said, Michigan State scored like 2 late touchdowns. But God, they got a lot of talent on their team, but they are like, it is penalties, and like they dropped 2 easy touches, like literally dropped like wide open in the end zone, like just dropped touchdown passes, and then they missed like a 20-yard field goal. And I think they had 5 turnovers. Michigan State had none. So it was at least 4 turnovers. I know King threw 2 picks and he had 2 fumbles.
Yeah.
Which is like, all right, man.
Do you think they're going to fire him midway through the season like USC just did? After the, second game of the season, they already fired their head coach?
So the only reason why there might be a slight chance that they do, that Florida State-Miami game is not going to be one of the prettiest ones. That was crazy, that Florida State game. I cannot believe how that went down.
Yeah,
but
that was ugly. I saw the clip when you sent it to me
last
God.
Week. That was so bad. Yeah.
Bad.
So normally I would say 100% chance that Diaz makes it through the whole entire season, but the caveat is USC. And the reason why is because Mario Cristobal, coach of Oregon, right? They just beat Ohio State on the road.
Right.
He's from Miami. He played for Miami, won national championships there. His wife wants to move back to Miami. Whole big thing about his connections with Miami. He's, like I said, he's from there. And USC apparently is ready to throw a lot of money at him to get him to leave Oregon. So it's up to Miami to step in and say, we want him more. So there could be, normally I would say no, they'll just let him finish out the season, but there might be enough urgency and enough, because Miami has the money. They kind of act like they don't, but they do. There's a lot of wealthy donors and stuff like that there. So they would have to buy out Cristobal from Oregon, buy out Manny Diaz from the contract they have, and then assemble a staff. But that's the only saving grace is what's going on with USC, because USC will probably get pretty aggressive, and that might force Miami's hand into getting. They probably should have hired Cristobal a couple of years ago when they hired Manny Diaz, but they totally fucked that process up. Manny Diaz sucks so bad. I know everybody says that too, like you criticize your coaches when you're doing well, but he is just not a good coach. So hopefully that's the only good thing. They play Central Connecticut State this week.
I don't think I've ever even heard of that school.
And people, I mean, I hate to say, you never root for your team to lose, but
you're up for the tank season now. Tank the whole thing and just get rid of the guy.
Yeah, it's gotta happen because it's too hard to watch. So
yeah, it's
they got to save their recruiting class. That's the other thing too. Is Cristobal is a mega recruiter. That's always been his thing, and he's a former offensive lineman. Miami's offensive line has been really bad for a while, so it makes sense. Miami will never go out there and get an Urban Meyer or Nick Saban type. So what's the next step down? Probably someone like Cristobal. So
yeah,
I'm hoping, man, it sucks.
There's a couple things. So we've got our first test. I don't consider. I know we lost to UCLA. I don't even consider that like the first test of the team. I didn't think. I thought we should have beaten UCLA. Then I watched the game, and obviously we didn't. But this is our first real conference game against the Fighting Cowbells of Moose State at 11 a.m. on Saturday. So I'm going to be curious. I'll be able to watch most of that, and then when we jump on the podcast at 1, I'm going to have it on in the background while we're doing that.
Yeah, and like you said too, the only bummer is now after that Miami starts conference play. They play like Virginia and North Carolina, Virginia Tech, right? Basically in a row. If by some miracle, they start winning those games, then there's no way he's going to get fired, because it's all really about the conference at the end of the day. If you do well if you do okay in the conference, you make a bowl game, everybody's happy. I mean, not everybody, but it's like they can go, oh, good enough. And so I think the fans are just nervous that he might pull off some victories and
someone salvage his job.
Yeah.
Would you ever? You brought up Urban Meyer. Would you, given he's had tremendous success, but at the same time, he's also a woe-is-me flake. Yeah. Would you ever hire him if you were a program? Would you want him to come coach Miami?
I would love if he would come coach for Miami, because you know what, they would be put on probation eventually, but you know what, they'd probably win 3 championships.
Creamy. Speaking of football, I can't even fathom the level of athleticism these athletes are showing. It seems freakier and freakier. Yeah, it's called growth hormone. That's what it is.
Well, we were just talking about this a couple weeks ago, where the amount of injuries, like you almost can't. They're doing all this stuff to protect these players, but you almost can't, because the rules and everything, the way things were before. You have these guys. They're 6'3", they're 245, 250, and they're running like 4 or 5 40s. There's not enough helmet in the world that's going to protect you from getting, crushed by one.
It's a whole lot of man moving a whole lot of weight real freaking fast, and that's just
even like the offensive linemen. You see offensive linemen running sometimes, and they're fast.
Yeah, man.
And you think about them and like pulling out and like pancaking some like little defensive back, and you're like, dude, that's kind of suck.
That's what I asked Robbie a question and the guys the other day. So what would you rather have happen to you? Get pancaked by a linebacker in their prime, so somebody like Mike Singletary or Lawrence Taylor in their prime, or take a punch to the face from Mike Tyson?
I don't know. In pads?
Yeah, you get to wear pads if you're on the football field, but if you're all right, I'll say you can wear headgear if you're letting Tyson punch you.
Oh God, I feel like, I guess I would want to get hit in pads. At least I would have my whole entire body to try to absorb the car wreck. I just really I wouldn't want to get hit by Mike Tyson. I just really, I don't want to get punched in the face by Mike Tyson.
Yeah, I think I would much rather get just like have the whole body just like pancaked by the and like pile drived into the ground, than just get like shattered orbital socket, cheek, broken nose, concussion. You probably get a concussion getting tackled full force by a NFL linebacker, but the force is dispersed a little bit more across the entire body.
Yeah, you might never recover from the Tyson shot. So yeah, I think I'm picking the football player.
Yeah, wired, jaw shut, missing teeth, God knows what else.
Right.
Oh man, neither of those sound good. But if I'm thinking, if you have to pick the lesser of two evils, it's probably getting tackled.
Yeah.
Then again, I grew up playing baseball, not tackle football, so I could be talking out of my ass too.
Yeah. Yeah, because you figure, like you said, all this protection and stuff like that. But then you see, like, a down on the field camera sometimes and like the audio and you hear it, and it's literally. I remember LaDainian Tomlinson making that comment. He said when they were talking about like him retiring early and stuff, he's like, every time you carry the ball, he's like, it's like getting in a car accident, 30 times a game. He's like, it sucks. It sucks.
Yeah, man. Cool. All right, Snoop. Let's put a bow on this thing and we'll send it out the door, man. Any big plans for the weekend?
No, I don't think so. Because next week we go out of town. Next week it's my buddy's birthday. Next weekend. So this weekend, so we'll probably just chill. She's taking next week off. There's some. We'll talk offline.
Okay.
But some cool stuff, some really fun stuff going on. So this weekend, probably just chill a little bit.
Good deal, man. All right. Thank you for tuning in for another episode of the Bourbon Brothers podcast. If you like what we're doing here, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, review the podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, whatever other podcast perusing platform you enjoy, as that helps us climb up in the almighty algorithm that dictates anything and everything to which we are exposed these days. I'm Robert Chinesky, the supplement engineer, joined by my partner in crime, Justin Hall, supplement Snoop, and we will catch you all next time.
Oh.